Africa needs to be on the table this time, not on the menu. Everyone has bought into the vision. At least majority have bought into the vision. So policies for us, I think, I can say are accompanied with clear execution. What our president, I think, should give him credit, he's borderless. Let people come, let them bring their skills here and add to what we're building. Demand is not just in Rwanda for tech, it's global. You need to meet a certain global standard.
Welcome to Tech Talk Africa, the podcast where we move beyond the headlines to uncover how technology is shaping Africa's future. I'm your host, Stella Gichuhi. Today, we're in conversation with a leader at the heart of one of Africa's most ambitious digital transformations, Rwanda, a country that has become a symbol of possibility on the continent, from broadband expansion and drone-powered health logistics to pioneering AI policies. The country's story is one of vision, execution, and resilience. Joining me today is Alex Ntale, CEO of the Rwanda ICT Chamber. Together, we'll explore how policy, people, and partnerships are driving Rwanda's digital leap and what lessons the rest of the continent can take from this journey. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you very much.
I want to start with, there's so much to talk about Rwanda, but I want to start with your ICT story, which is actually, whenever we're talking about digital transformation on the continent, there's always this assumption that it's just Kenya, South Africa. But no, now it's Rwanda, Rwanda. If you compare where the country was 10 years ago and now, what are the biggest shifts you've seen in your capacity as CEO of the ICT Chamber?
I think, so the shifts at the beginning, I think, of 2014, late 2014.
Yeah.
Just before that was a clear vision on where the country wanted to be in terms of digital capabilities. And that was enshrined in strategies and policies. Yeah. But as every other country also had a Vision 2020.
Yes.
So did Rwanda. That Vision 2020 captured not just the political scene or the economic scene, but it also dived deeper into infrastructure-wise at different levels. And ICT was picked out as one of the key cross-cutting enablers that was to take us to the future or take us to a knowledge-based economy. So investments, heavy investments were made, and starting off with infrastructure, laying fiber across the country. Someone may argue, oh, Rwanda is small, so it's so easy. Yes. It was also expensive. Being small also means that there are some costs and some economies of scale that you don't have. But that in itself really built confidence in the investor community, but also in the private sector, and really now started attracting people, investors, talent across from across the world, but also from across Africa. And that shift now today, we can say we're beginning to see some fruits from those investments.
So would you then say that it's the policies that the government set in place that allowed for that shift to happen? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's a combination of things. Policies definitely, but more than anything, I think it's clarity of vision, and that is coming from our leadership. So the leadership lays the vision. This is where we're going,
right?
And is able to rally the population and rally partnerships to this vision. So the policies enable that then, because if I remember some of the interventions, primarily fiber had been laid, but then you have a last mile challenge
Yeah.
How do we get internet last mile across the country? And that really was, yes, a policy decision and brought in investors. But even then, policies were not aligned to what was needed for that to happen. So now, because of that agility, it meant that there are some changes that needed to be done. And changes in some places would take like years debating on this. So the broadband policy was revised within a few months. Cabinet and all the lawmakers had approved it, and now the investors could make their investment with that clarity and direction. So that for me now has gone on to have its own spillovers, because it plays its anchor. It plays a catalytic role in terms of should I move here? Should I move there?
Right. So there's a reason why I keep asking this honing in on this policy angle, because as you know, yours is Vision 2020, right?
Yes.
Kenya has a Vision 2030. Botswana have a vision, I can't remember. But it seems you're one of the few African countries that are putting policy into practice. I'm very passionate about implementation of strategies.
From 2020, we now have Vision 2050.
Now you're at Vision 2050.
Yes.
So you've already implemented Vision 2050, or you're still on course to realizing what's the vision of that, yeah?
So for Vision 2020, a lot was achieved.
Yeah.
Key elements were, one, digital infrastructure being available, last mile being available, creating an innovation ecosystem that was done, talent development. So investments were done in global universities. For example, Carnegie Mellon University Africa campus is there, Africa Leadership University, Africa Institute of Mathematical Sciences, and several other centers of excellence.
ASG, Africa School of Governance.
Mount Kenya now. So all these institutions were there primarily because if we're going to move into this knowledge-based economy, we're going to, first of all, have an ingredient of knowledge. And that now has brought us to where we are today, where we're looking at Vision 2050. And even that is broken down into 5-year strategies. So today, our 5-year strategy in the digital economy is empowering 1 million coders. Training and upskilling, and that's at different levels of digital literacy. But also, it is enhancing service delivery. So in the previous one, we got to over 400 to 600 government services that are digitized, excluding private sector services. Just eGov, the same way Kenya has eCitizen. So now that that service delivery is actually helping. So policies for us, I think, I can say, are accompanied with clear execution. Not that it is perfect.
No, but the
intention everyone has
is there.
Bought into the vision. At least majority have bought into the vision that digital is going to take us over the other side. And we saw it during COVID lockdown. All the investments that had been made in fiber paid off because tracing those who were sick was done digitally, but also people stayed at home and were able to continue in many ways. So that's that execution element. I think is very key, but it is also a factor of it's a function of accountability. So there's
when you say accountability, does it mean when a policy is not implemented, you're fired?
I wouldn't go that far. It's not my place. But what we have is that at the beginning of every 5-year period, there will be a strategy. Now we in what we call the National Strategy for Transformation 2, and that spells out clearly what we are supposed to achieve by the end of those 5 years. And then they're broken down to annual, but they're also further broken down to for the institutions in the public sector. So
everybody knows the role they're supposed to play.
Yes.
Where and when they're supposed to play it. Yeah. And what will happen if they don't play their role.
They sign also performance contracts.
And
this is mostly public in the public sector. Yeah. In the private sector, I won't claim we sign these performance contracts, but your P&L, your bottom line does it for you. But there's this collaboration, and our work at the ICT Chamber has just been to try and make sure that we harmonize these relationships between public and private sector.
You've brought me on to my next question. Your role as the ICT Chamber. So are you a conduit between private sector and public sector? Are you an overseer? What is it you do in this space?
In other countries, I think you have chambers of commerce. KEPSA here, PSFU in Uganda. In Rwanda, we have Private Sector Federation. And within the Private Sector Federation, we have chambers that are sector specific. So we're a member-based organization, not for profit, bridging that gap between public and private sector, and looking at the business environment, specifically for us as the ICT sector. Of course, working closely within that space. Others focus on manufacturing, same way
financial services,
and so on. So we at that.
The policy is a strong enabler.
Yes.
And then now you have the people driving this transformation. There's been a huge skills drive on the continent. Everywhere you go, skill, cross-skill, reskill, upskill, just skill. Yeah. And I know that Rwanda has invested heavily in human capital. Like you just said, your target is 1 million coders to have 1 million. Is it a million coders?
A million coders is the umbrella. The advanced really target is about 500,000. And that includes those in formal education. And in the informal education sector.
And then you have, I'm assuming you'll have some women in tech initiatives. Women in tech.
Yes.
So
Girls
I always
in
talk
ICT.
about women in tech.
Yeah, women in tech.
Right. And what else what other role are you playing in upskilling and, talking to government and saying we need to skill and tracking those skills? So, and of course, bridging the skills gap.
Yeah. So what the government has done, they looked at not just the ICT sector, but across the economy, and realized that there are several skills gaps that needed to be addressed. So they established what is called the Sector Skills Councils.
Sector Skill Council.
Yes. So Sector Skills Councils are kind of a triple helix model. You have academia. You have policymakers, government, and then you have private sector. So with the hypothesis that once you bring the supply side and the demand side, which is a private sector and other employers, together, and you're able to define how demand what is being demanded, then supply can also be fixed. Because the challenge in most the challenge we found, and we still find, it's not that it's not fixed entirely, is that you have skills mismatch or knowledge mismatch between what is being supplied from academia and from all these other initiatives and what actually is required by the employers, by industry.
Right.
And in the tech space, that moves quite fast. And it's also not geographical. It's not just local. You can't say, I'm just scaling for Rwandan market, because demand is not just in Rwanda for tech. It's global.
It's global,
and competition is not just with Rwandans. It's global. So you need to meet a certain global standard, and that our work with government is part of that. We co-chair that sector skills council, which is the Digital Inclusion Council, talking about women, people with disabilities, refugees, and all that. So that is where now we begin to shape pathways to understand, okay, what's being demanded, what are the trends, and how can we solve for it, and how do we speak on both sides so that we are complementing each other.
It's like a co-creation process to an extent.
Co-creation. Yes.
And have you seen a change in the different industries? I know you sit in the ICT Sector Skills Council, but have you seen or explored some level of shift that the country's experienced because of this skilling?
Yes.
Yeah?
Formally, it's just picked up, but informally, it's been happening more or less organically. With some of the work that we do with investors when they come looking for talent, connecting them to talent, and then realizing, these are the demanded skills. Some of them that are doing business process outsourcing or IT process outsourcing, and then saying, these are the things that and now that number is increasing. In the past, we also had cases where they would come and would not be able to to meet their demands, but today, at least because of those kind of interventions, it has helped.
And have you seen a rise in startups as well?
Is
there a correlation between a highly skilled individual and the number of startups you've seen in the country?
Yeah. So when we started the chamber back in 2012, 2011, 2012, and one of the flagship projects that we started with is lessons we picked up from iHub here, and set up the Knowledge Lab or K-Lab in Rwanda as an innovation space, co-working, supporting startups. And that has today grown, not in itself, but spillover is maybe almost 20 other hubs that have come up, and with the biggest, including the biggest one, which is the Nosken startup.
Which startup, sorry?
Nosken, Kigali, which is, I think, the biggest hub in the region.
I'll check it out.
So it has its roots in Sweden.
Right.
But going back to your question, the investment, going back to the earlier question on, it's an investment that is done by a very successful investor from, tech company, tech founder from Sweden, who comes to Rwanda, realizes there's a lot of potential, not just for Rwandans, but also for the continent, because of the way Rwanda's positioned itself in attracting talent. You have talent, whether they're studying at LU or at CMU or at Ames and all these universities, all those that are just coming to say, I want to start in Rwanda because the environment is conducive for me. to test and more. So that has grown, and yes, we've seen a growth in startups as well.
We've got the policy right, the execution right, the people right, the skills right. I'm just well, I think we need to come on a visit, benchmarking.
So that's why I come to learn here. Like I was telling you, we've learned a number of things from what Kenya is doing. iHub was one of them, and it has sparked. Actually, even there's Gearbox.
Yes,
for Fab Lab.
Yes.
Again,
yes.
There's been lessons. We have quite a number of Kenyan advisors working in different. So what our president, I think, should give him credit, is he sees some of these borders indeed as they are virtual. They and say, I'm opening up. Let everybody. He's borderless. I'm opening up. Let people come and let them compete. Let them do let them bring their skills here and add to what we're building.
And in being borderless, of course, now there's partnerships.
Yes.
Rwanda has partnered with Mastercard, Microsoft. Zipline was for Rwanda, but now it's a product for a global solution. How do you then engage with big tech while you protect your sovereignty and you ensure fair partnerships? Because the sovereignty conversation is
the sovereignty conversation is the sovereignty conversation is really big, especially with data and everything. But again, it's I can't speak for government, but what I see, at least for some of the conversations I'm involved in, is looking at win-win and looking at, again, what do we want to do and what do we want for our citizens. Okay. So data protection and privacy law became active 2022. It was published, gazetted around 2021.
Okay.
And people were given, companies, organizations were given enough time to prepare themselves to be compliant. The data sovereignty component in there is that the way the law is written is really agile. It will look at some cases, case by case nature. It's not blanket. Okay, so
it's context specific then.
Yeah, it was. Yes, you need to localize to have data localized. But if you have a case that requires cross-border or that requires data to be stored in or kept in other places or processed or in other jurisdictions, you can apply for permission. And so the approach is really to see, okay, let's look at this, where the benefits, and rather than come at it from, close everything and then,
You've got, adding on to partnerships and their fairness, you've got the Smart Africa Alliance headquartered in Rwanda.
Yes.
Oh, Smart Africa. If you're listening to this, hi. What role has that alliance played in now advancing the digital strategy of the country? It's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you know, so Smart Africa started when 2013.
Yeah.
When heads of state, I think that time it was about 7 heads of state that kicked it off, and even at the starting point, some countries were focusing on chose thematic areas. Or this is what we want to really be known for within the alliance. So for Rwanda, it's smart cities. For Kenya, I think it's the digital economy or something close to that. And then other countries, you have Tunisia for startups, and so on. So today, membership is over 30 something countries that are members of Smart Africa. So how it's helped and how it really, let me call it, sparked some of the things is, so for smart cities, there's a blueprint that was developed by Smart Africa. That blueprint has been used by a number of our local authorities, that is city mayors and so on, primarily starting with actually city of Kigali. Digitize some things, but also add to this, let me call it, bring in this IoT, because smart city is mostly engaging with IoT. And they've done a few proof of concept projects, from smart parking to garbage collection, and so on. But now there's also recently inaugurated the Smart City Hub.
Congratulations.
So Smart City Hub looks at the city level and discusses, engages with mayors and local authorities to understand pain points that can actually be solved by innovations from smart technologies. And that's where we are at the moment. But that, I can say, really has been anchored on the work that the Smart Africa Alliance did at the beginning.
Fantastic. I want to ask this question.
Please.
A month ago, 2 months ago,
yes,
I signed up for the Transform Africa Summit. I knew I was going to pack my bags, end up in Kigali. 3rd of July was supposed to take place. And then there was a postponement. Now, all roads lead to
Guinea.
Is it Guinea?
Guinea, I think.
Yeah, why am I not going to Kigali? So what? I had dreams of going to Kigali. I have to ask that question.
Unfortunately, I'm not.
You're not in a place to. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
I hope we'll connect in Guinea.
Okay. Oh, hopefully we'll
it's
connect.
Africa.
As
Pan-African.
We're all Pan-African, so it doesn't matter where you go. It's Transform Africa Summit.
Let's go transform it from West Africa.
Fine. That's a good save. Do you think that the Rwandan model can be adapted elsewhere on the continent, or is it unique to the country?
I think I can't say it can be a typical copy-paste approach.
Okay.
But rather there are several things that are adaptable and can work. The same way we also can borrow some things from Uganda, from Kenya, and come and adapt them to Rwanda's context. So every country has its context, from cultural context to geographic to how we educated and so on. So I don't think it would be a typical copy paste. You've
got a leader who cracks the whip. Unless the rest, I'll just say you've got a leader who cracks the whip. In fact, you had Kigali hosted massive AI summit.
Yes.
Earlier in this year in April.
Yes,
that must have been a success.
Yes.
I mean, everybody was there. I don't know, my invite got lost in the mail, but that must have been a success story for you.
It was.
Yeah.
And AI is, everyone is using, at least a good number of people are using it, and it's going to change life as we know it. It's already changing life as we know it, but it's even going to just increase as time goes by. So Africa needs to be on the table this time, not on the menu. But I think that event was meant to spark something, to stir up something among us as Africans.
that
we should also be at the production side, not just at the consumption
Yeah, we're
side.
not just a consumer, we're also a producer. But what's next? I mean, everything. The only controversial question I had was why Transform Africa is not taking place in Kigali. But it sounds like you're doing everything right. So what vision do you have?
We have challenges.
You will have challenges. Like, for example, where Kenya has we have internet exchange points.
Yes.
Is that something you're looking into as
we have an internet exchange point.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not everyone not everyone that needs to be there is there yet.
What does that mean?
Yeah, because you have how the internet exchange point works is that we can exchange at the peering or at the exchange point.
Yes.
The content I'm looking for, if it is already gone through your network.
Yes.
I don't have to go to California or to Netherlands or to wherever to look for it. I can. Yeah. But if even at the regional level, I do. If it's not in Rwanda, maybe it's here in Kenya, Nairobi at the. So I shouldn't be able to, and that should really be able to reduce number of things or bring about a level of efficiencies, including. How fast our internet is, but also the cost. So the cost of that. Of course, our colleagues from the infrastructure space, connectivity, they would rather keep that those profits to themselves.
Yeah.
But yes, internet exchange points, I think. If we could leverage, optimize, and really rally everyone to think in that, the more we peer, the more we connect at these points, the lesser we need to be importing data that we already have, things that we already have. It's like you going to buy, getting a plane to go and buy something that's already been imported and it's here and it's at a cheaper price, at a cheaper cost.
Let's not even talk about importing.
Yeah.
Because we need to be behaving more intra-African. But my imports, one went from Lagos to Paris to Nairobi. That's a conversation for trade. But back to you, what's your vision for the Chamber for the next 5 to 10 years?
So at the Chamber, we're strong on talent because our members build their products based on talent.
Yeah.
And over the last 10 years that we've been operating, what we have seen is we've added a number of companies to our private sector within the digital space.
Yeah.
So from basic MIS companies that are building softwares to very complicated AI companies or drone and so on. So what our vision is to add to that number, to grow the numbers of companies, digital ICT companies in Rwanda, both qualitatively, that is in their capabilities, their competitiveness, but also their profitability in that sense. The other is growing digital adoption. Not all our economic sectors are active participators in the digital economy, are adopters. So if you go to mining, for example, if you go to tourism, if you go to hospitality industry. So for the most part, it's been financial services. That's very easy. That's very straightforward.
Yeah, they tend to be the early adopters,
but
right?
You have logistics. As a landlocked country, logistics plays a huge role. How are we able to optimize for that? Whether we're moving fresh goods or fresh food, or moving manufactured products, or people themselves. so mobility.
Okay.
So it's really seeing how digital permeates the rest of the other economic sectors.
That's a good way to think about it. So what you're saying is there's an not oversubscription, but financial services, IT sector, they know what they're doing. Now it's just to onboard the other sectors.
Yeah.
And then everybody can be at the same level.
Correct. Okay. Even in the financial sector, maybe for Kenya, it may be different.
Yeah.
Even for the financial sector, for the most part, it's been digital payments.
Or
now the upcoming is digital lending. Okay. Unless of the other financial services, for example, insurance.
Yeah.
Insurtech.
Yeah.
Or
bank assurance.
Or investment management.
Okay.
And so on. So.
Wow, you've got your vision set out for you. And as we wrap up, if you had one piece of advice for African CIOs and policymakers listening, what would it be?
I think it's collaboration.
Collaboration.
And people centricity. Because what that means as a CIO, you're running a team or you're supporting your organization to grow. To improve the bottom line in essence, but it's people. All these things run on people, and if we give value and improve our people, confident that we have way much we can gain.
Yeah, you've taken me back to one of our episodes that was on the African consumer experience. It was essentially that. It's you have to care about your customer's customer. It's about the people. It's about the past. Yes. Tech comes and goes, but people are at the heart of everything that we do. And I can see that's what you're about. Well, I really need to visit Kigali and visit all these hubs.
You should.
Yeah?
You should. You should come. You should think of doing an episode in Kigali.
Production team. Have you heard that? Well.
Didn't I see these guys in Kigali sometime in May? Weren't you in Kigali?
They
right. It wasn't.
They didn't have me, so now they have me. We're driving conversations from the continent around tech.
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming and sitting with us. And my takeaway: you need to have a leader that holds people accountable. You can write your policy, but if it's not being implemented, and if you're not people-centric, goodbye to your digital journey. Well, listeners, the lessons here are powerful. Digital transformation is built on intentional partnerships, collaboration, thoughtful policy, and investment in skills. This has been Tech Talk Africa. I'm your host, Stella Gichuhi. See you next time.